Hey guys, it's Tracy Lynn from DECLUTTERINminutes.com, and we have another organizing inspirational video for you. An organizing inspirational video. Oh my goodness, what the heck does that even mean? Well, basically, it is where I scour the internet to come up with some amazing organizing solutions and ideas that you can see and use as inspiration to create a system that works for you in your home. So this month, we are going to be organizing those yard and gardening tools. So if you're ready, please join me. Okay, so before we dive in, let's talk about yard and garden tools. What exactly does that mean? Well, for most homes that do not have an organized area for all of their yard work tools, they tend to migrate all over the place. You might have some in the garage, some in your basement, some in the yard, in a shed, in a barn. They could be just about anywhere. And the problem with that is you tend to waste a lot of time looking for your tools. And an even bigger problem is if you can't find the tool you own, you may end up buying a duplicate. And what does buying duplicates do? It adds clutter to your home. So our goal today is to get all of those tools together and to organize them into a streamlined space so you know exactly where everything is. So first of all, it's easy for you to find the tools you need. And second of all, it's just as easy to put them all away again. Okay, let's talk about organizing yard and gardening supplies. So let's talk about our goal. Our goal for today is to help set up a garden and yard area in or outside of your home to hold your tools and supplies. This will help you to streamline another area, taking you one step closer to creating a decluttered and organized home that you love and deserve. But before we can do that, let's back up and figure out exactly what is your why. Your why is the reason why you want to gather, declutter, and organize your supplies. And why is that important? Because if you don't know what your why is, you don't know when things get frustrating, or when you get overwhelmed, or when you get distracted, or when you just like, this is too hard, I want to quit. When you know what your why is, it tends to help motivate you to stay in the game. And that is the biggest struggle when we declutter, is keeping our heads in the game and finishing a decluttering and organizing project all the way to done. So know what your why is and use that as motivation to keep going towards the finish line. So, what's the reason why you are doing this? Well, a few ideas are so that you can find the tools you need right when you need them. When you get the energy to work on a project, you do not want to waste that energy gathering and trying to find the supplies that you need. The rakes, the hose, the lawnmowers, the gardening gloves, whatever it is. Another reason may be if you had all your things in one place, you might be more excited to work in your flower beds, or to work in your vegetable garden, or to work in your yard. And your yard or garage or porch might just be a hot mess full of random stuff, and you just want to get that fixed and streamlined. No matter what your why is, you guys, you need to know it so that you can use that as your finish line, the flag that is waving to you, so you just keep going, and it will help you get another organizing job completed all the way to done. All right. So before we start doing the decluttering process, we're going to do things a little bit differently for this project. And I am going to ask you to walk your home and property and figure out where the best spot is to be your organized area to hold all of your yard and gardening tools. So you want to actually walk your property, see if you have any outbuildings, if you have sheds, are they being used in the best way? If you have a garage, is there a section that you can use? Do you have a covered porch that you might be able to use? Maybe you have an alcove on your building that you can turn into a gardening supply area. Do you have a barn? Do you have a lean-to? Anything on your property, I want you to scrutinize it and see if it might work as a great solution for housing all of your yard and gardening tools. Then you need to make space for you to actually do this decluttering project, because before we can organize, we first need to declutter. And let's face it, you're going to be decluttering pretty big pieces. So I want to make sure that you have room to work. This way, you can leave the project and come back to it in case something gets in the way and not worry about leaving the project altogether. So a good working place might be the driveway. If you live in a place that has questionable weather, you're going to want to put a canopy of some sort up so that you are able to finish the job in a reasonable amount of time without the weather constituting how quickly you need to work. You can use the floor in your garage. Lay down a tarp so you know exactly what you're using that space for, and so that nobody else gets into that space, messing up your progress. You can also use an area in your yard. You can use one on a porch. You can even use one in the basement, whatever makes sense to you and gives you enough room to spread out all the supplies that you have and then sort through things so you know what's left, so you can then set up an organizing system. Okay, once you have all that figured out, you know the spot that you are going to focus on as your new garden and yard area. You have a workspace ready to go and your sorting bins all set up and ready to go. Then the next thing you need to do is gather up what you have, because you need to know what you have so you can then organize what you're going to keep. So you want to walk your property, your basement, your house, and get all the gardening tools. These are hand tools all the way up to the big tools. You want to get all the yard work tools. You want to get your lawn care tools. Now, I'm not telling you to get your lawnmower, but you do want to get the rake and the shovel and maybe the fertilizer or the seed spreader. You want all of those tools together. And then you want to get up any organic or chemical additives that you use, fertilizers, organic pest control, tools for organic pest control. This could be row covers or tomato cages or plant stakes, anything like that. You want to get that all gathered together. Okay. Then what you need to do is declutter what you have. So when you have everything laid out in your work area, I want you to first remove any duplicates that you no longer need. So keep the one you love. And if you have a duplicate that is not needed, then you can either donate that or give it away to someone that you know or love. Now, if you have a tool that has duplicates because you need to have those duplicates, like in our home, we have like 7 rakes. But the reason for that is we do a lot of family projects, and that is 6 people. So we need all of those rakes to make sure we have enough rakes for everyone to work. So for us, we do need quite a few rakes, but we only need 1 hoe. So you have to know the number of tools that you need and use that as your line in the sand as to what can stay and what can go. Next, you want to gather up anything that is broken or unusable, either by you or by someone else, and put that into the trash or recycling section. Then you want to set aside anything that you want to keep for sure and for certain. So if you have a rototiller and you know for sure you want to keep it, then that is going to be kept off to the side. The rakes, the hand tools, the gloves, the kneeler for when you're gardening, the flower pots, the things that you know for sure you want to keep, I want you to set those off to the side. Then whatever is left, that is what you're going to decide is either going to go to donation, giveaway, sell, or recyclable if you find another broken item as you're doing this. By doing things this way, it makes it easier for you to work through tools and items that are kind of big and clunky. Okay, now that you have the only thing that is left is your keep pile, the things that you're going to set up and organize, now we get to start doing the organizing. So the first thing you want to do, whether this is for yard tools, gardening tools, or both, is you want to look at what you have and the size of the target area that you chose in an earlier step. Ask yourself these questions. Do you have enough room? If you do not, did you keep more tools than you need? Or did you choose too small of a space? You're going to stay at this step for a while until both things match. The amount of items that you're keeping matches comfortably with the area you want to set up as your organized space going forward. Now, once you get through that, your next question to ask is, does your space need to be repaired or updated? Is there a window that is cracked that might need fixed? Is there a lock on the door that needs to be repaired? Would you like to paint it? Does the floor need repaired? Are there shelving units that you want to put in? Do you need to build any wall systems to hang things? Do you need to put hooks on the wall or shelves on the wall or cabinets on the floor? Do you want to put a rug in there? Make a list of improvements that you want to do so that you can get those done before you bring your tools in. And then finally, you want to make a note of any organizers that you need so that you can first shop your home first, see if you already own that organizer and it's not being used somewhere. Or number two, you can DIY an organizer that will fit this space. Our first example is a DIY wall system. This is something you can build on your own, and it literally will work for any DIY skill level that you are at. Just random 2x4 pieces, a great way to use up any scrap wood that you have around your home, mount it onto the wall, make sure they're secure and sturdy, and you can hang all of your hand tools up and out of the way. This is from anna-white.com. Next up is PVC piping. I'm sorry this picture's a little fuzzy. I couldn't find a great one, but I wanted to make sure that I included this in our inspirational video today because this is such a genius idea. It literally holds everything organized, allows you to use up, again, some supplies that you might have lying around your home. The only issue is it doesn't hold a lot of hand tools like the previous DIY project did. So you can only put one or two in here, but if you only have a few hand tools, this is a great system to adopt. This is from newlywoodwards.com. Then pallets, you guys, we are going to see a lot of pallet examples in our slideshow today. And this one is just a pallet, nothing done to it. A pallet propped up against a wall and hand tools were put right inside. No skill needed whatsoever. You just need to have the pallet and a wall to prop it up against. From fleamarketgardening.com. Okay, that showed us some of our yard tools, but let's talk about the real reason why you're here, the gardening tools. So let's organize a gardening area now. Here's a few mini organizing tips. They have these magnetic strips that you could put knives on in the kitchen. This will work great for hand tools for your garden. I absolutely love this idea. It's a great way to keep the tools close, yet super quick. You can access them and run out and do a quick gardening project. This is from southernliving.com. You can also use these little tin buckets. They sell them at any craft store. I think they're like 97 cents each. They might even be cheaper. And you can hang them on hooks that these are command strip hooks that they screwed in because it's on wood, but you could probably use any type of hooking on there. And then you can put your gardening markers. These are tongue depressors and popsicle sticks. They work great as labels for plants and rows in a garden. This is from Madian23rd.com. I love this one. This might be my favorite one ever. Go get some old funnels or new funnels at the dollar store, and you can put your twine and your jute and your string in there and hang it right on the side of the wall. Have a pair of scissors in a flower pot at the bottom. And guys, all your string is organized and it doubles as wall art. And you know how much I love organizers that double as wall art. This is just one of the many examples I'm going to show you from marthastewart.com. Turn a wall into a shelving unit. You can use scrap wood here. It doesn't need to be pretty because it's a gardening shed. Take scrap wood, make sure you're using, as they did, 2x4 pieces to hold up as support systems. And you can literally get all of your stuff front and center so you can see it, making gardening more enjoyable because you have a dedicated space for all of your supplies. This is another example from Madian23rd.com. Again, from Martha Stewart, she loves those steel buckets. Find one at Walmart or at a yard sale, or maybe you have one lying around. Double bolt it, secure it into the wall. Keep the nozzle or the sprinkler inside. and use it to hold up your gardening hose. Oh my gosh, this is such a great idea. It's sturdy and it allows you to double a hanger as a storage space. Build a rollaway storage cart. This one requires a little bit higher skill level on the DIY ladder, but I'm sure you can do it because it's a very basic layout. This is from Dana Gallagher at countryliving.com. Dana Gallagher at countryliving.com. She basically built a shelf, put wheels on it, caster wheels on it, and this way she is able to put everything on there for her gardening area and then move it in and out of the way again. This is a great solution if you are sharing a space for your garden space, and then that way you can move things out of the way when you're not working on gardening projects and then pull it out front and center when you are. I love this one as well. You can use ribbons as a gardening calendar. So what they did on midwestliving.com is they hung ribbons to the outside of a door. You could put it on a wall. You could put it on a window so it doubles as a curtain, and then put the label of the month at the top and then clip on the plants that you plan to plant that month and then leave them there after they are planted so you can refer back to them again if you need to. Just a great way to double an organizing system as wall art. Another tip from marthastewart.com. Everybody has these wooden crates. Most of us do. I have a ton of them and I never know what to do with them. Turn them into shelving inside of your gardening shed. This is a great way to get another item up and out of your storage, your attic, your basement, and put it to good use and turn it into shelving inside of an area to give you a bit more space without having to use any DIY skills. Pallets. I love pallets. You can use a pallet to transform an alcove of your property into a mini gardening organizing area. So what I mean by alcove is if you have a corner that has probably a roof over the top so it does stay dry there, you can set up a pallet to hold your things for gardening that is close to that area. This works great if you live in an area that does not have a garage or a basement or any options for outdoor storage. This is from our littleacre.com. Now, just a tip, if you don't know where to get these pallets, if you contact a grocery store or a feed mill store or even any department store, a lot of them have the pallets out back and they struggle to get rid of them if they don't have a recycling operation set up for them. Just contact them and ask. More often than not, they will gladly give you as many that you need. So all you have to do is go to the back entrance, ask them if they have any wooden pallets they want to get rid of, and you can just load them up and drive away. And just like that, you have tons of material to do any of these DIY projects. You can frame in a good old-fashioned pegboard. I like having them framed in because it, again, turns in an organizing area into wall art, and it makes it look a little more pleasant to see. So if you're one of those people that like organizers that are pretty, this is a good solution for you from marthastewart.com. You just have to use the S hooks to hold your things up. You can add shelves and you can add all kinds of brackets now. A lot of the organizing companies and even regular stores like Walmart and Target sell these items that you can put onto these pegboards and set up a space that really does work for your gardening area. No room? Wait till you see this, guys. Turn 2 pallets into a gardening work area. This is from jennaberger.com. So this is what it looks like closed, and this is what it looks like opened up. I think this is amazing. It is a very simple DIY project. Just be careful that the area that you put it in, you are okay with putting holes into your building surface. So I would suggest doing this on a garden shed or on a shed or a barn or a garage rather than on your house itself. But if you have a place that no one sees and you're okay doing holes in your siding or other outside surface, then go ahead and do it. You can get all the instructions at Jenna's site at jennaberger.com. Next up, DIY pallet wood potting bench. So now these are standalone potting benches that you can create with just this used shelving, this used pegboard, and this used pallets to create this neat little organizing bench. And if you want to see how they did it, go to settingfor4.com. This one has a little sink inside. Now, I'm assuming you can add piping to it if you want to, but this is just a temporary sink. So they have a bucket down below to catch the water. That way you're able to do a little bit of watering and cleaning of your hands if you need to. You'll just need to keep some jugs close by for that water, but it is a great solution if you're looking to create a space for gardening that you don't already have. And you could get the plans for this DIY potting bench at thehandymansdaughter.com. This is another pallet garden bench, but this one is a little more compact. So if you are short on space, but you still want a place to work on your plants, go ahead and scale it down so that it fits the area that you are organizing. And this is from betterhomesandgardens.com. I don't really have plans for this setup, but you can kind of take a picture of it with your phone and see how it works out. You tear apart a pallet, you use the pieces to do the legs, and the back support you could see is actually part of the pallet. And then you can either use extra wood or find some wood around your property to make the tabletop and the shelf down below. Okay, so this is a little bit of fun. Give your gardening area a vibe you love. Add curtains, add shelves, add books and chairs and flowers and artwork, anything that draws you into the space so that it is fun and pleasant for you to be in there, because if you hate the space, you guys, you're not going to use it. So you need to make sure it's aesthetically pleasing for you. So give it your style, give it your voice, make it fun for you to be in there. And this is from sionwportbeach.blogspot.com. Build a garden bench from scratch. If you don't have access to pallets and you want something that's a little more sturdy, then start from scratch. Buy yourself some wood, make yourself a bench, give it a shelf on the bottom for storage, and then put on a back where you can hang things, other tools and items that you need. This is from sensationalstyle.com. Okay, let's finish off my organizing inspiration video with a few dream garden outside sheds. This is from betterhomesandgardens.com. I did not get a peek inside, but I love the outside. So many times we are so focused on organizing the inside, we forget to put a little bit of love and fun on the outside. So spice things up. Whatever area you choose to use, put lots of plants outside, give it a chair, a nice little reading area, a bench, a wreath on the door, artwork on the outside, put pretty curtains inside if there's a window. Make it enjoyable so that you like being in that space. This is from thepondsfarmhouse.com. If you like farmhouse style, this one is for you. A nice whitewashed look, some beautiful shelving, a great large open workspace, and some extra furniture and bottles, and even a chandelier. Super fun, super enjoyable, and pretty as well. Another one from Better Homes and Gardens. This is another outdoor look of a gardening shed. Window planters. I love window planters, you guys. I think it really gives character to an otherwise dull building. Just a couple window planters, paint the door a color that you love, and you can turn a blah shed into a wonderful thing to look at from the outside and enjoy on the inside. southernliving.com. This is the inside of a garden shed, and it shows how greatly organized it is by doing a U counter. It really does utilize the space all the way around. And then they added in just a random piece of furniture. They attached it to the wall to make sure it was sturdy, and they were able to find even more storage. Bike holders are what they have up on top to hold their gardening tools, and then some solar and electrical lighting, and even a fan to make the space enjoyable all the way around. From betterhomesandgardens.com, this is another inside of a gardening shed. Again, using antiques, using pretty things, using organizers to create a space that is cohesive all the way around. Gridley and Graves. This is another antique whitewashed look. I love this look. It's not my favorite, but it's one of them. I think it is so inviting. It's warm, and it looks like it would be a fun place to make plants and herbs and cuttings and work on your garden and yard. This is my favorite, you guys. This is redalign.co.uk. I love this. It just makes me smile, and I'm not a lover of red, but I just love the way the whole thing looks. They've got frames on the pegboard to really make things stand out, make it easy to put things away, and to give it a color punch. They have, again, a chandelier. They have a curtain. They have signs. They have chairs, and everything matches, and everything is organized. So above all, whatever space you choose, make it yours. Make it fun. Make it your own. And that is all I have for you for this slideshow. So I hope you found some fun and delightful and inspirational tips that you can use to organize your yard tools, your gardening tools, and create a garden shed in any area of your home, and take yourself one step closer to creating a home you love and deserve to have. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and happy decluttering. Bye, everybody.